Alright man, Snow Arnold. Hello, welcome to my Papyrus 3D update. So actually I had a lot of trouble with this project recently, so I'm going to talk about that and just and there's going to be a lesson in this vlog. Like and subscribe, by the way, if you like tech related projects content. I mostly talk about my own projects now. Sometimes do console.log vlog, which is sort of reports some developer and programmer life philosophy, but also I will someday do tutorials again, but I'm too absorbed in my own side projects anyway, which is why I'm reporting it all the time. Anyway, Papyrus 3D, how was that going? I basically I just basically went a bit too far. I went ahead of myself basically too early, and I'll talk about what I mean now. I'll show you. So let's look at the Git. Let's look at the source control, what actually happened. Oh. Okay, let's just close that. So basically, if we go to the Git, you'll see, there's the log here, all this happened. You got the word there. So I basically tried to go ahead and just like, before I'd got the fundamentals set up, I don't know if you can zoom this in, I'm not sure if you can do it on the source control view, but basically I tried too early to get the entire superstructure of the entire project working, and in the process I completely screwed it up. So I'm going back to basics now. You can see here that I've done like, just done, yeah. I just went way too far ahead of myself, and it ended up being destructive actually in the end. So I've gone back to basics now, so let me talk about what I'm doing. So I tried to change the structure to basically do a build. I'm still going to do that, but what I've basically done is separate out the engine code to here. I've got a demo project here. I'm still making an Inferno demo, which should still be the same. Next thing to do, I'm just going to basically get, like, this feels like deja vu now because it was what I was trying to do before, but I'm basically going to get the engine code being referenced from here, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to get a Node.js or Webpack script or something that does the distribution build. So we'll just take all this, not apart from the this as well, of course, and then just plonk it into the distribution folder. But yeah, before I just basically overcomplicate the structure, and then I've got tools in this different folder, because eventually I want to make a map editor, possibly a dialogue editor. I'm going to take my time on this though a bit. This is quite a complicated project actually, to be honest. I'll show where it's at now. So basically where it's at is where it was at before. So it's like I said, you go forward a bit and then you go back a bit often with this stuff. And this might even be broken because I was in the middle of working on something, I guess. Yeah, so I can't really show anything unless. So, and like I was always trying to. I was trying to get the. So basically, I've just. The code is a bit too spread now. It's a bit too. I'm starting to lose tracks. I'm basically having to refactor based on the prior refactoring I tried to do, where I went too far before the actual engine code was really set up correctly, just in an example project. So yeah, that's where it's at now really. I'm just basically going through. I'm basically just going through and trying to make all the dialogue code bit work again. components. In components, I'm trying to use more components now. So I'm trying to at the minute set up a player cam, and then on the on here I want to get it so it'll know that to start at cam 1 and cam 2, and then obviously, like I've said before, instead of having all this abstract, because if you're having to hand edit these is annoying, to be honest. Like, so I'm gonna make that's the reason I'm making the map editor, so it abstracts all that away with templates and blah 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 blah. But again, that needs. I'm working. I'm going to work just with the test maps for now, but again, obviously, I need to get the basics working first. I think I well tried to jump too well ahead of myself, and just ended up creating. It's not pure spaghetti. There is still underlying logic going on under the surface, but I've spaghettified the code a bit too much in a rush to get to the end, so I'm just slowing it all down a bit now. It's easy to get there with spaghetti. Usually what happens with spaghetti is spaghetti code, or spaghettifying the code base, is that I get hyper focused on one idea, and then my mind just like, oh, and then what about this? What about this? What about this? I think because I've got quite a full stack approach to coding, I try and consider everything from one angle. But especially if you're working on a project like this, where being a generalist is good, but also bad, because I'm trying to fix everything at once, if that makes sense. As opposed to if you're a generalist in a team, or a full stack in a team, you're usually given specific tasks to relate to something that you might know a bit about, which you can sort of the rest of you fill in the blanks for the rest of it. Anyway, it is getting there somewhat now, in terms of me fixing it up. But yeah, like I said, look at this. To go off and to do loads. I've got a dev branch now as well, so yeah, you can. I'm hidden. So yeah, I've got I've created a dev branch now, which I can then merge into main. So keeping those two, but I should have done that from the start. I just didn't for some reason. But yeah, as you can see, I just basically made a huge mess by doing that, going too far ahead, too fast. Anyway, lesson learned there for myself and for anyone else watching, I guess, is if you're working on a solo project like this, which is especially if it's something like a game framework or engine, then there is quite a lot of complexity to deal with. It all feels quite simple at first, but then you get into a situation where there is more and more complexity, and some of the complexity has been added by yourself. So actually getting to the point where you can reverse that complexity it makes it a bigger job. Now, this is always a factor in software engineering anyway. Like you are basically dealing with abstraction. That's what programming is. It's trying to simplify abstraction, really, and trying to create good principles, or use good principles to create clean and efficient working code as well. I mean, clean code I think is a good aim, but it is rarely that realistically possible. So like if I just quickly look on here, for example, let's go into the main engine code, right? So yes, quite a lot of this is fairly clean. Not many of the functions are over, this has got that's got 12 lines, so that's for adding a character, so that could be cleaner again. And then but then you don't want to hyper obsess on that, because for example, function create rooms is sort of it's one of the primary functions. That's quite long. That actually takes up the majority of the code. So the full block of code is 280 lines. Nothing horrendous, right? But if you were going to do just pure clean code principles, I think something like this long of this function for creating rooms would be looked at badly. But and some of this is obviously prototypal code, so we'll explain that in relevance, some of what I need taken out, but that makes the entire map, which is the primary loop, if you will, for the engine. So I don't know, is that a bad thing? Obviously I can simplify a lot of this code, but again, at the same time, I mean, all it does is basically it takes it creates from the JSON, it just creates the geometry we need and everything else. Again, I'm learning though, so it's good. I am learning about how to. I mean, I think from what I understand, basically what I'm doing is, well, not basically what I'm doing. What I'm literally doing is taking two-dimensional arrays and making them 3D via A-frames, A-frames methods. Basically, that's all I'm doing. It sounds like that would be easy, but then as soon as I want to add more complexity, like more different textures, something else I'm struggling with on here is also, I'll show you how do I handle asset loading, because so if I go into index.html, not that one, that's the engine one I need to go to the demo. So here, like, I'm loading the assets by hand at the minute, but so what it might end up is that you'd have to add in, so basically it might be that you have like a index, and then you've got rooms where the actual room gets generated. So possibly I'd have to make it so that I was trying to implement this before with the asset loading, just maybe have an entity with just like containers, which the player then, or the designer actually I should say, can load in. So that, I don't know, basically the bit I'm struggling with is how do I get this so that it's as easy to use as possible, but also maximum extendability, I guess. How maximum ability to you know, like customize it as much as possible. That's a hard balance I'm learning now at the minute, to be honest, with regards to how am I going forward with this thing. But I'm enjoying the coding process. I sort of went a bit mad on it like a week ago when I was just like, oh, what do I do here? What do I do? I went too far. I mean, I made a lot of progress, but also went too far. But I'm back at the point I need to be at now, so that's good. Anyway, been Noah Nerd, peace. Like and subscribe and such. Yeah, I'll probably do another vlog in a few weeks or a week, depends how I get on. I'm starting a new job next week, so again, I'm probably going to be working on this stuff just on the weekend when I get the chance. So yeah, anyway, hope that's interesting. Bye, like and subscribe.